it's a special episode because it's been a big week. So it's a special episode, a big week. Prince Harry's book has been leaked, and you've been obsessed with his Todger, as he describes it. Which is not Willy, which is how he describes his brother.
Okay.
So there are so many stories in this that we're just going to try and go the whole thing purely on.
Okay.
So firstly, now he did mention that he did kind of have a frostbitten penis.
Kind of had. I mean, you either do or you don't, man. So.
All right. Well, he got his penis froze and it had frostbite.
Okay. Sweet.
Well, I use the word penis. He uses the word Todger, as all grown men do.
Yeah.
In their late 30s. The book was leaked, even though they tried to go out of their way not to. They apparently were going to extreme lengths to stop it from getting out. Yeah, it's amazing with like how lovable this guy is that people would go out of their way to do that. So the frostbite on the Todger starts with, upon arriving home, I just horrified to discover that my nether regions were frost nipped. So he had a 200-mile Arctic charity walk in March 2011. The frostbite was reportedly so bad that he was still reeling while with his older brother at the end of April. So well over a month of frostbite on the penis.
That's an interesting story that I could have lived my whole life without knowing. Thanks.
And yet you would not have been able to fantasize about Harry's.
I mean, Harry's a special dude.
How many? There has to be at least a handful of people out there who are going to have wet dreams, let's say, about Prince Harry's frostbite helping him thaw it out through special means.
Dude.
There's got to be at least one person who that's their new fantasy.
There's bound to be someone out there who's going to read this and be like, well, there's a new genre of porn.
Do you know how good you would do if you on the hub right now released a video that was a parody of
never mind all this stepsister stuff and French maids and all that sort of stuff and teachers. No, let's just move into frostbitten penises need to be warmed up.
Of princes.
Yeah, princes. That's a whole other thing as well. So just, anyways, there's money to be made. Let's just say that.
And he did tell. So Harry told his father, Prince Charles, and company about the discomfort of my frost-nipped ears and cheeks, but remained mum on his painful South Pole. That's what the quote says.
I mean, you shouldn't use the South Pole as the name for the penis. That's a new one, but all right, let's go with it.
He said, while the ears and cheeks were already healing, the Todger wasn't, and he had to get treatment. Wait, so he did this walk in March, and at the ceremony, it wasn't healing at the end of April. And that was only when he decided to go get checked. So he had frostbite on his Todger for well over a month, at least a month, because if the walk was in March, it's the end of April. At minimum a month, possibly 2 months, he had a frostbitten penis and didn't do anything about it.
You've got to imagine that there was a certain amount of damage done in that time to the Todger. You know, that's got to leave lasting effects. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like also if he like sought medical advice, like for hey, my ears and my cheeks and so forth, frostbitten, my toes, the doctors might have been like, "How's your penis?" So, it's like, it's fine. It's like, no, it's not. So, yeah, I think there's a malpractice suit here. Somebody should have realized that his penis wasn't all it should have been. So just if he's looking for some money, which I think he is. So.
Yeah. Oh, this was at the wedding. So while the wedding was going on, so if you go back and watch the wedding now, I'm sure you can watch it with.
I mean, I've already watched it 3 times this week, so there's no need.
If you pause it exactly 10 minutes and 33 seconds, you can see him adjust.
I mean, I've never had a frostbitten penis, so I don't know exactly how that feels or what it would be like, but I'm sure I wouldn't leave it a month and a half or 2 months to get some fucking help with it. Like, hey doc, what's the plan here?
At least look at this.
Not the kind of thing you can put deep heat on. Like, oh, that's better. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would look for, like, would seek medical help as soon as.
How many days would it take for your penis to be frostbitten before you spoke to a doctor?
Personally, I would be like less than 24 hours. It's this now. Give me some cream or something that's going to fix it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I would be like, this is the most important thing. Like, I don't care if my leg falls off. Fix this first. So yeah, I feel like you just have to swallow your pride, no pun intended, and be like, let's just get this fixed, please. Yeah. So can't believe you left it so.
Well, we do know more about the Todger.
Okay.
So the book has shed some light on a rumor that's been out there for a while.
Oh.
According to an article. Do you want to guess what the rumor is?
I mean,
there's a rumor about Prince Harry's Todger that's been put to bed by this article. What do you think it is?
Has it got pictures?
No.
No. I don't know. Either that it's really large or really extra small. I don't know. It's one of those, I would imagine, is the only exciting rumor about a penis that people talk about. Well,
it says, this article starts with, he's letting it all hang out. He revealed in his bombshell memoir that despite rumors to the contrary, both he and his brother, so he's also disclosed information about Willy's Willy.
There you go.
So I don't know why. I mean, I don't think in most people's autobiographies or whatever they even come across this, but for some reason especially even his brother, he's revealed that him and his brother are both circumcised.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, there's been rumors to the contrary, though.
Okay, so I mean, honestly, that is not a very interesting thing for me, but I guess it's a thing for people.
He says it was a matter, and I'm quoting here, was a matter of public record and indeed some public curiosity. Wow. Okay, he writes in his memoir, there were countless stories in books and papers, even the New York Times, about Willy and me not being circumcised. That's a direct quote. I didn't change the thing to Willy there. Now, this is the line that got me. Mummy had forbidden it. They all said, and while it's absolutely true that the chance of getting penile frostbite is much greater if you're not circumcised, All the stories were false. I was snipped as a baby.
Okay. See, I woke up this morning. I didn't know this information.
Yeah.
And now I will never not know this information.
I mean, come on. You've been reading all the rumors about his penis for a long time, and as soon as this came out, you keeping up with it. Let's not pretend.
You know, I've got a certain persona to adhere to online, so I can't confirm that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, why are people obsessed though whether or not anybody, prince or otherwise, is circumcised?
Because Mummy had forbidden it.
I mean, mummies do lots of things. So anyway, there you go. It's. I mean, I don't know what to say about it, but it clearly impacted his frostbite. That's all. So I think we can say on it. Wow.
This next line is about the frostbite. It says, "Time heals," the professional intoned, and presumably Harry's organ did organically heal as he and Meghan Markle share 2 children. Imagine he has like a mangled penis though.
I mean, yeah, there are devices, I believe, that are used in the adult entertainment industry that can be.
You would know about it.
I mean, I heard about it in a book once. That they get, little pumps implanted and stuff like that. So that can, there's ways. I'm just saying, there's ways where it might not work naturally. Anyway.
Yeah. But then, you told you.
I feel like if I was writing an autobiography, I wouldn't dedicate much space to writing about my own todger. I'd be like,
yeah, well, that's why no one's paying you millions of dollars to write your own autobiography. Next time.
It's a good point. Next time, like chapter 4, girth.
Chapter 1, my todger. This book is dedicated to my mother and father for raising me, my brother for being there, and my todger for being frostbitten and mangled and yet somehow producing children.
It's been on quite a journey over these years. You're about to hear about all of it. So, anyways.
Chapter 1, I was born. 18 years later, I first used my todger. It's when I discovered the hub.
I mean, I was 18 in the year 2000, so it would have taken 3 months to download the first 15 seconds of a clip. So, yeah, might have taken a bit. But anyway,
that is why. Yeah.
Say no more.
All right. Do you want to take a? Well, I mean, obviously, he talks more about his todger in the book, and along the lines of what we just said, how do you think he lost his virginity?
I mean, just by the look of him, I'm going to say to a 300-pound hooker in Vegas.
That'd be way off.
What?
Imagine he did actually. He talks about it in his memoir.
It's like, I just wanted to get it out of the way, and it's like I knew no one would believe this story, but I'm here to say it's true.
Mommy bought me a hooker in.
All the way through, the woman was like, "Don't I know you?" He's like, "No, shut up."
Now, what even gets weirder is that this book was ghostwritten. So there's some actual writer out there who didn't change him referring to his todger and circumcision, etc.
I mean, I think that's reasonable. So Tell us about how he's lost his virginity. And
I mean, I think you need to take a real guess as to how.
That was a real guess. I don't know, because he's a royal person. Like, one of his cousins came over for a weekend and he got it on with her. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Something, either a cousin or a teacher. That's my guess.
Nah. Okay. So he recounts how he lost his virginity to an older woman in a field behind a pub and describes how he took cocaine when he was 17.
Was this all the same experience? So
No. They goddamn ads got me here. So I have to find another article that doesn't cut it off. All right. Ever been curious to know how Prince Harry lost his virginity? Of course. It says, yeah, me neither, but I disagree. Firstly, one, you're writing this story, and two, I'm reading this story. So clearly both of us are very much interested in how he lost his Yeah, so he said, she liked horses quite a lot and treated me unlike a young stallion. Quick ride, after which she'd smacked my rump and sent me to grace, he mused. Among the many things about it that were wrong, it happened in a grassy field behind a busy pub.
It sounds made up. Sounds like he was like, this will make me seem like a real boy. I went to the pub with all the real people. Sure you did, pal. Sure you did.
It's a bit annoying because I don't know why that woman or who wrote that did cut it out. Okay, so they only included that one quote, whereas other articles have more information. So he was 17 to an older woman who treated him like a young stallion. It's in the busy field. He described the exchange as a humiliating episode with an older woman who liked macho horses and treated me like a young stallion. I mounted her quickly, after which she spanked my ass and sent me away, he wrote. One of my many mistakes was letting it happen in a field just behind a very busy pub. No doubt someone had seen us.
I mean, if anyone took video footage of that, you're going to make billions on the hub. So
yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, even if you just went into a field right now with a redheaded guy and then filmed them from a distance.
Yeah, that would give you a chance, all right.
Now, he does admit to using cocaine as well. So do you want to take a guess as to why?
As to why he took cocaine?
Yeah.
Peer pressure, I guess. I mean, I feel like, let's see, this is going to be an equally unrealistic story. Something like he wanted to stay up all night to pass an exam or something.
No, he says he wanted to make me feel different. Very deep thoughts. I mean, do you want to take a guess where?
I'm guessing in the pub with all the real people again.
At someone's house. At someone's house during a hunting weekend, I was offered a line, and since then I had consumed some more. It wasn't very fun, and it didn't make me feel especially happy, as seemed to happen to others, but it did make me feel different, and that was my main objective. I was a 17-year-old willing to try almost anything that would alter the pre-established order.
I mean, he's literally a prince who can do almost anything he wants to do because he has unlimited funds, access to whatever he wants access to. And he's like, I think I'll do cocaine. That'll make me feel different. At somebody's house on a hunting. Come on, dude. In your sequel to your autobiography, make the stories a little bit more believable. That's all I'm saying. You know.
Well, I think whoever the ghostwriter is shares most of the blame on this.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah. Whoever ghost wrote this probably needs to apologize to a lot of people.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it indeed.
Now, the book is called Spare. Do you want to guess why it's called Spare?
Has it got anything to do with 10-pin bowling? It's his favorite. His most often score is a spare. No.
There's like 100 pages on 10-pin bowling. It's just
it's my number one passion in life.
Let me tell you all about 10-pin bowling.
One time at the bowling alley, somebody offered me some heroin, so I took it. I wanted to feel different.
Because my penis was hurting from the frostbite from 5 years ago that I hadn't got checked.
Why is it called Spare? Is it because he was a spare prince who was really only born for spare body parts in case another member of the royal family needed like a spare kidney or something? That's my wildest guess in a long time.
You're not actually too far off.
Nice.
So where are we? Where's this quote? Where it's so annoying because they took away the because of the ads. I lost my article. Anyway, so it says in the book, he alludes to the book's title, recounting the alleged words of his father, then Prince Charles, to his mother, Princess Diana, on the day of his birth. Wonderful. Now you've given me an heir and a spare. My work is done.
So, how does he know these were the words?
He remembers them, obviously.
I feel like nobody would tell him this if that is the exact words. I'd be like, so this is what your father said when you were born. Now I have a spare. Fantastic. No, I'm like, who's telling him that? And if they're telling him, how much cocaine did they give him at the time? Lady in a field outside the back of a pub. Probably.
And how frostbite was his penis at the time too.
Oh yeah, definitely. These are the details that we're missing, I think, in this story. So
yeah. How frostbitten was the penis? You could ask him one thing. And one thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Now imagine there's a picture out there that you sent to a friend.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I would certainly make the rounds of the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are so many things in this to come across to know which one to go to next. Okay. So King Charles, called me a spare the day I was born, he says. So I think we all know that King Charles is probably, he's Father of the Year.
Clearly. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like, I don't know how true that could be, because I honestly don't think anyone would tell him that is exactly what your father said the day you were born. That seems like let's come up with a quote to sell the book, because all the penis stuff might only sell to half the people. So we need something.
The title is Spare, right? And it does say that according to The Guardian, who've read the book, Harry's resentment of being the spare is the unifying theme of his book through chapters on his childhood, his schooling, his career as a royal and in the British Army, his relationship with his parents and brother, and his life with Meghan through courtship, wedding, and marriage to their own experience of parenthood. Now, yeah, it would be interesting to know if like they threw in the spare thing and the original title of the book was like Todger.
Yeah. They're like, what's the main thing we're going to put in this book? Well, I had a frostbitten Todger once. That could be it. Like, we need something else. We need something else. Something a little bit more spicy. So, yeah.
Well, Diana reportedly told Andrew Morton that a biographer, the Charles' first comment after Harry was born was, "Oh God, it's a boy." And then the next comment was, "And he's even got red hair."
Yeah. I mean, anyone would be disappointed.
Now, he does insist that they were both jokes. So, not just the king, stand-up comedian as well.
I do think the most appropriate place in the world to make a joke is when your wife has just had a baby and is like, probably not in the mood for hilarity and around. She might have other things on her mind, I'm just thinking. So yeah, I think it's quite
get it out. Oh, thank God it's out. He's like, oh my God, it's a boy.
You're so funny.
You're relieved to pay.
It takes quite a lot of testicular fortitude to whip out your stand-up routine in that environment. Like, I've been working on these for 9 months.
You know how like the new thing with comedy in the last like 5 years has been like the themes of like doing specials in like, there was one who did one to their parents, and there's been people that done it in prison and whatever. Well, right after childbirth to the wife, I think is the that is the peak audience of
It shows how far ahead of his time he really was. He's doing this like 30 years ago. So
you could have the worst stand-up performance, but if you actually did that, you would get so much notoriety.
It's a boy. Oh, fucking great. Someone spotlight microphone.
As soon as the baby gets out, it's like, okay, lights off. Let's get this. Where's the spotlight? Is this thing on?
Oh no, it's got red hair. Disappointed at that, but hey, it's all right. It's just a spare.
Now I'm from Dublin. We got anyone in the audience from Dublin tonight? You don't look too happy. What's your job?
So tell me about your husband. And just point the microphone at the wife. He's like a pretty cool guy, if you ask me.
Oh, we got a heckler in the audience. Like when the baby won't stop crying, you're like, oh, come on. We've all had too many drinks. Now shut up and let me perform.
I mean,
Stop making this about you. This is about me and my special.
I feel like we've just created a new genre right there.
Yeah.
It's just one of them.
And you know how in like in some comedy things they have like the special starts off with them like walking out into the audience. So it's like the guy walking through the hospital and like he's like, oh shit, it's you coming through. He's running, and then the baby comes out. He's like, made it just in time. How are we doing tonight, folks? What about that hospital food, eh? Hey?
Yeah. I feel like this could work. I mean, if King Charles was doing it way back in the 80s,
I mean, it
it's
is
time.
kind of like, it is kind of stealing his material. So
I feel like with a different spin on it, like Chris Rock could reinvent stand-up comedy if he was to take this on, somebody like that. But there you go.
and then you go from that spot to the next spot and go to the room next door where right after someone's died.
That's
tough
a tougher
audience,
crowd.
eh?
Tougher crowd, yeah, for sure.
I was in room 56 2 minutes ago. Tough audience there. Family of a 5-year-old who just died. Not necessarily the best.
They had no sense of humor whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't love my joke, but at least they wouldn't have to worry about Christmas presents.
Feel like we just got cancelled right there. Right, that's very second.
Thank you. Good night.
Someday somebody would write about that comedy performance in their autobiography. There you go, you see. So
I mean, if you want to go viral, if you want to be viral everywhere, either the next death or childbirth. It doesn't even have to be your own. It can just be like a friend. Like imagine unannounced. Your friend gives birth, and then you walk in, turn off the lights, and be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise guest coming in to do a tight 5. You've seen him in room 56. You've heard him over the hospital PA. Live for you tonight."
I mean, different avenues need to be explored for comedy these days. So I think it could work.
Tough audience.
For sure.
Well, Prince Charles at the christening also said to a guest, "We were so disappointed. We thought it would be a girl."
Oh, well, nowadays they could know beforehand and have an abortion. So I guess they didn't have that technology back in whatever time. So
well, it does also kind of add credence to the whole. So Diana also said, "Suddenly as Harry was born, it just went bang, our marriage. The whole thing went down the drain," which kind of does slightly add. I mean, all of this adds credence to the idea and the conspiracy that like Harry is not Prince Charles' kid.
I mean, it does appear to
Especially even the fact that he said, "Oh, and it's got red hair." Like, does that not say?
I mean, it kind of suggests that there might be something to the rumors. I don't know. I feel like most royals or most people in that family do not have red hair. And then this one anomaly comes along, and then that's the end of the marriage, kind of like any kind of sensual relationship between the two. I feel like there's a reason for it, because she was obviously having other people's children. So
Yeah.
That would kind of put you off your partner.
Yeah, like let's just say that your wife gave birth to someone who looks like someone else, and not really like you, and distinctly different to your other kid.
Yeah. I mean, you'd probably
do a times 5 at the birth.
I feel like, you know what? The thing is, though, there was no doubt there was DNA tests done at some point, and maybe the results came back at the wrong time, and then people ended up not being alive the next weekend. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing is that this whole thing does also give credence to the fact of like, yeah, maybe they do know. Maybe that is the reason why he was treated like a spare. Well, William was a strike.
Yeah,
The greatest thing would be if William was to release a book called Strike, and it's all about 10-pin bowling.
The entire book is about his career, his lifetime career of playing 10-pin bowling. Every score he's ever got, who was there, what was going on.
He's done it like 5 times in his life as well. So it's just like 30 pages per game of 10-pin bowling.
That sounds like a riveting book that people would enjoy. And then be like, at my 15th birthday, someone was there and offered me cocaine, and I did it. I wanted to get a strike. Yeah. Then then I got a 10-pin bowling instructor. She was nice. Guess what we did outside the bowling alley in a field. Sure, dude, whatever. So, anyways.
Well, I think another thing you probably didn't think you would you probably didn't start today thinking that you would agree with the Taliban.
It wasn't my first thought, no.
I mean, but yes, the Taliban have come out and condemned Harry over his military tours in Afghanistan, and where he confirms in the book he killed 25 people in Afghanistan who he did not consider to be people.
And these were just people in his battalion. It's what happens when you let a grenade off in your own tent. But hey, that's a hard one because, yeah, I mean, people are people. It doesn't matter if they're against you or whatever. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, the Taliban might have a point there.
So following the revelation in the thing, several leading Taliban figures responded with anger on Friday. Mr. Harry, the ones you killed were not chess pieces, they were humans, a senior Taliban member wrote on Twitter.
Wait. So the Taliban got advanced copies of the book and read it and were like, hey, wait a minute, he's talking about us. It went viral that he spoke about that he said he killed 25 people. Okay. All right. I wish they had got advanced copies of the book.
Imagine that's how it got out. Was the
the Taliban leaked his book via Twitter.
We accidentally sent a copy to the Taliban.
Yeah.
He was quoted as saying, "It wasn't a statistic that filled me with pride, but nor did it leave me ashamed," Harry wrote. "When I found myself plunged in the heat and confusion of combat, I didn't think of those 25 as people. They were chess pieces removed from the board, bad people eliminated before they could kill good people."
I mean, but they probably saw you as the bad people, and them killing you would have been the other way around. So, I mean, it's both sides. But yeah, I guess like just saying that they weren't people, they were chess pieces. That's going to get the Taliban on Twitter for sure.
Yeah.
Hashtag fuck you, Harry, with your frozen penis.
Yeah. So there you go. He said his justification for going to Afghanistan and fighting was the memory of 9/11 attacks and his experience of talking with the families of the victims. So yeah, it's
So guessing his memory was watching it on TV because I don't think he was there. So, yeah, all right. I mean, that's one way of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
use it differently. Maybe I don't understand why it hit him so hard. I can understand like Americans having that reaction, but someone in another part of the world, I think maybe that's just his excuse. Maybe he was on cocaine.
Maybe, or the frostbite and the penis got to him.
That could be the thing. Yeah.
Now, yeah, he talks about how he was drinking heavily and smoking weed while he was studying at Eton. So terrible person.
Can't believe a person like that would get a book deal.
Yeah.
Never mind all the other stuff. But anyways, so he was smoking and drinking. What a terrible influence he has been.
Yeah. He and again, I don't know why he would specifically come out and say he killed 25 people there. Like, it just doesn't seem like.
It's kind of the first or second thing you put on your Twitter profile. Prince of England killed 25 people.
Former Prince of England.
Exactly. But there you go.
Now, yeah, he's got nothing on, as I said, as we've previously gone over, the Father of the Year, Prince Charles, who now, what do you think he said to break to Harry that his mother had been killed?
Hands up whose mother is alive.
They both put their hands up. He's like, this is awkward.
I don't know. I mean, he seems to be such a funny guy. Something along the lines of well, at least you will remember your mother now that she's dead, or something. Something just quite blunt and forceful, and like whatever.
I mean, that's probably a bit more. Even that would be a bit more mature. He's quoted as saying, "Darling boy, Mummy's been in a car crash."
Sweet. So she got like whiplash. She's going to get a claim in against the driver. What's going on?
He did say she's been taken to hospital. They'll fix her head and we'll go and see her tonight at the latest.
How did that work out?
They tried, darling boy. I'm afraid she didn't make it. Then he says, Pa didn't hug me.
I mean, he's probably trying to work through his own grief, but not handling it quite well. But yeah, I think you would expect there was lots of sympathy and hugging and kind of emotions and stuff. But it seems like he was just like, well, she didn't make it. What's for dinner?
You want to give a second
go over
high
to my
five?
friend Camilla's house just
it's a good time to record my next special.
Yeah. Oh man, that was, that's just how it goes. Yeah, I would imagine it's a difficult conversation to have, and apparently the now king was not well equipped to have it. So there you go.
I mean, he's the king, though. He should be the most equipped person there is.
I mean, I guess he didn't have a whole lot of other things to do, really, does he? So
yeah. Well, then it goes on to say Harry became obsessed with the idea that his mother might still be alive. With nothing to do but roam the castle and talk to myself, a suspicion took hold that she staged the accident, which then became a firm belief.
Fucking idiot. Yeah, well, look, you know what? He was quite young though. I think when this happened, like I think
Just
he was
13.
like, yeah. So that's, I mean, you're probably gonna, I don't know, but I would imagine at that age you're gonna be like, I need to just invent this possibility that I'll open the door someday and my mom will be there and her mummy will be there and it'll be
Yes.
great. And she'll tell me it was just to get out of the public eye or whatever. Um, and yeah,
And
I
to
don't
get
know.
my frostbitten Todger checked.
She'll know what to do.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel I reckon probably like a lot of young kids who lose a parent probably have that idea, but it's just like less of like I walked around the castle and thought she was hiding somewhere. More like, I walked all around the trailer, couldn't find her. Walked all around our one bedroom apartment, she wasn't there. Yeah.
Yes. He's also spoken about his desire for a reconciliation with his brother and father, which kind of seems hard considering he also so we'll start with the father. So he begged his dad Charles not to marry Camilla as he feared she'd be an evil stepmom.
Yeah. That's reasonable, She's gonna be evil. Don't marry her, please. I think that's fair.
Yeah. So Prince Harry said nasty things about Queen Consort Camilla, according to the biographer. So Harry cruelly let rip about his mother-in-law, even comparing the first time he met her to trying to avoid the pain of an injection. He wrote that he told himself at that meeting, "This is nothing. Close your eyes and you won't even feel it." Which is what he also said when his penis got frostbite. 2 months later, he was still saying that.
Yeah, that's it's a line you don't want to be saying to too many people. There you go. Hey, he's I don't even know. I don't even know how to take that on board because whatever, man, just close your eyes, you'll be fine.
He said, "I remember wondering if she would be cruel to me, if she would be like all the evil stepmothers in the stories."
Well, all the evil stepmothers in the stories are probably a little bit nicer than she's going to be.
I mean, it's like he just discovered that Disney isn't real.
But again, they didn't get married until long after. Like he would have been in his 20s or something.
Yeah.
So,
but also, like, who cares? Like,
yeah. Have you not seen the stepmom side of Pornhub? I mean,
it's like,
those are not nasty and mean and evil.
I mean, but have you seen Camilla? Do you really want to be going down that path?
I mean, she could use some makeup and stuff, but a little bit of cosmetic surgery and so forth. But still, he is just biased because of Disney, and he shouldn't have been. There you go.
Well, he even accuses Camilla of looking bored at their first meeting, deducing that she treated it as a pure formality as he was not the heir. Now, that does seem like he's jumping to a lot of conclusions.
She didn't like me.
Because I wasn't the heir. Like,
yeah. Somebody has a complex.
Yeah.
They're important and people consider
and wrote a whole book about it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is almost like, say, calling your book My Tiny Penis. And like everything that's gone wrong in your life is you've referred to as because you have a tiny penis. And then
it would probably be more interesting that way. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of like it's a little bit embarrassing to be like, oh, she didn't like me because I wasn't the heir. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, you don't like this woman anyway. So what do you care? So my thoughts on it. But there you go.
Yeah,
I'm not a prince, so maybe things are different in the prince world or the former prince world. I don't know.
And realistically, like as a stepmom, why would you be so direct like that as well? Like,
yeah, you know, it's a good question. I don't know. I feel like I definitely feel like there was way more. Like he built it up to something that it wasn't.
yeah, he insisted his older brother also bristled against their dad settling down with Camilla, whom their mother, the late Princess Diana, had largely blamed for the end of the union to Charles because there were 3 of us in the marriage. Now, this is a great quote. Willy had been suspicious of the other woman for a long time, which confused and tormented him. Now, it does seem weird to refer to your stepmom as the other woman.
It does. It does. I mean, I don't think it was a big secret though. It was kind of like a well-known fact that he had someone on the side at some point.
Well, he's also the king. If anyone's going to have
maybe just Irish people were like, that Prince Charles fella, he's got another woman on the side of, you know, his wife.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're the king, go back 100 years, like if you were the king, like it'd be absurd for you not to have a woman on the side.
I mean, you'd probably have a whole chamber of them. So, you know, just 1 for every day of the week, at least, if you're a good king. And 2 for every day of the week if you're a shitty king. Yeah, keep happy.
3 if you're great.
Yeah, so, you know.
So it goes on to say, seeing that their dad, like us, wasn't happy, Harry and William eventually said they would welcome Camilla, but both begged him not to marry a second time, Harry writes. Still, he insists that the brothers were resigned to it by the time the current king finally wed his new queen consort in April 2005. Despite Willy and me urging him not to, Pa was going ahead, he wrote. Which reads like a 38-year-old. We pumped his hand, wished him well, no hard feelings. We recognized that he was finally going to be with the woman he loved, the woman he'd always loved, he wrote.
Well, there you go. There you go. So they realized that he loved this woman. He'd always loved this woman, but they were like, do not, under any circumstances, this woman. We do not want you to be happy, sir. Yeah.
The next quote says, fate might have intended it for him in the first place. Whatever bitterness or sorrow we felt over the closing of another loop in Mummy's story, we understood that it was besides the point. So he literally says what you just said, that they realized that like he was supposed to marry her anyway and was forced not to. And yet and he still is being a dick about the fact that this happened.
Yeah, he's high on the being a dick fucking scale right here. He's just like, I'm just going to be a dick to my whole family in this book. But yeah, I feel I'm just glad that, you know,
you're not a spare.
That my life is more based around reality than this made up bullshit. But anyway,
it's a very relatable story, though.
I mean, you know, I feel like there are elements of it that we can all connect to. You know, like being 38 and talking like your parents are still like when you're 5 or 6.
Mummy and Pa and Willy and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
just
being
simply a lack of
38 and
Yeah.
in a book referring to your brother as Willy.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds to me, remember reading that he got like a huge payday for this book, and it sounds like he had no real good stories to tell, so he made up some awful shit that could just fill 300 pages, and he was like, there you go, that's the truth, you got it all, that's thanks for the money. uh yeah, sounds pretty awful, but hey, it's got to be on the to be read list, so there you go.
Yeah, I mean it's and I read this and just couldn't even like I struggled to process how this is like the whole thing. But apparently so Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton fought, and obviously that is the reason why the whole thing went down, right? So the Duke of Sussex, Harry, wrote that Prince of Wales texted his wife the week before their nuptials about a problem with the daughter's frock for the occasion. The French haute couture dresses had been hand sewn based solely on the bridesmaids' measurements, so it made sense that they would need some tweaks, Harry wrote. Like everyone, they had custom made Givenchy dresses for the wedding.
Sure.
The Duchess of Sussex, 41, replied to Middleton and told her to bring Charlotte, now 7, to the palace, where a tailor was waiting to perform alterations for all 6 of the bridesmaids. Again, very relatable. According to Harry, this was not sufficient for the princess, who arranged a time for the two to talk. Charlotte's dress was too big, long, and baggy, adding that the youngster burst into tears when she tried it on. And obviously they did that deliberately and made the kid cry like they should have. When Markle reiterated that Middleton should bring Charlotte to the tailor on standby for alterations, Harry wrote, the princess told her that all the bridesmaid dresses needed to be completely remade with 4 days to go until the wedding. According to the Duke, Middleton also said her own wedding dress designer, Alexander McQueen's Sarah Burton, agreed with her assessment. As you do, you go and get your wedding dress designer to analyze your kid's dress.
I kind of feel like there's a certain level of pressure where if a princess of the country you live in asks you to agree with them and you say, no, you're wrong, when they're being the biggest fucking Karen that they could possibly be. Yeah, what else are you going to say? You're going to be like, yeah, you're right. Tell them. It's not my business, so I don't care.
Well, that's not what happened here, because while the Prince of Wales eventually agreed to visit the tailor, Princess of Wales, I should say, with Charlotte, Harry wrote he later found Markle in tears on the floor following the altercation. As this sounds a very tough altercation.
I mean, just trying to work out how they're going to put this in the movie of what happened. It sounds like there was a telephone conversation and somebody was like, "Ah, you're so mean," and cried for 3 weeks.
The following day, he continued, Middleton apologized and brought over flowers and a card.
Oh.
But that still brought down the royal family.
You know, somehow I just have to think that this was all just done to sell a book deal and a Netflix show. So, you know, that's my thoughts on it. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. There seems to be, if that broke all their relationships. There's a. I mean, what would happen if something seriously bad happened? Fucking hell.
The dress doesn't fit. Come get it fixed. We have a person on standby to do it. No, I won't.
Yeah, fuck you.
That's it. Yeah.
You're going to help us get this fixed? Fuck you. Yeah, you know, I think that's actually, now that you've put it that way, it's reasonable to cause the fallout of a whole monarchy because of fucking a dress for a 7-year-old was not 100% correct.
while the way of fixing it was not agreed upon.
True. That's a stretch.
Using the person who was on standby to specifically fix the dress was a cause of, literally has cost them hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, but they're standing by their principles. They didn't want to go and get the dress fixed. So
by the person whose job is to fix the dress.
He was there waiting for them on standby whenever they wanted to go.
He probably charges like £100,000 an hour because they're like the most elite person in the world.
Let's be honest, that was too much to ask of them to probably go down a couple of flights of stairs, cross an alley, or not an alleyway, but a courtyard, and
be carried.
Yeah,
they're not going to just walk.
True. Sorry, I was using my peasant head here.
Yeah, your peasant.
They're going to walk with their own legs.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. I mean, look, if Irish people had known that this is all it took to bring down the British monarchy, we would have been on this fucking years ago. So
think about 300 years ago, if you'd like just given them a wrongly sized dress.
If we'd known, fucking hell, we would have just taken back everything. Fuck years. Yeah, now we know, and it's kind of hilarious. But hey, there you go.
A united Ireland with no north and south. All it would have taken was a dress,
a wrongly sized dress. Yeah, there we go. So much could have changed.
Someone just had to give someone else a dress that was one size too big, and offered to fix it by the best person in the world who was waiting on standby.
Do the most convenient way of sorting this out for you, possibly. Like, no, fuck off.
A way that is completely unrelatable to anyone else to get it fixed because it's so absurd.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like we didn't know how fragile the system was. We could have had a whole different.
It's like, hey, will you come to my birthday next month? Like, I'll send my private jet over for you and put you up in a castle while you're here. And you're like, how dare you ask me that?
Fuck you.
Yeah. A private jet in the castle. Like, what am I, a peasant? I asked my suit tailor, and he said that this is not good enough. My chauffeur is not happy with the travel arrangements you've made.
Yeah. It seems reasonable when you put it like that, to be honest.
Yeah. You're gonna pick me up in a Bugatti. My chauffeur will not allow such.
Yeah, couldn't be having that. It's not good enough.
Yeah, I discussed with my chauffeur, and he was like, "How dare you be seen in a Bugatti?"
Yeah. To be fair, they didn't really put all the necessary steps in place. Like, I mean, there was no talk of would there be tea. Was there going to be sandwiches available or cake? So maybe that's where the anger came from. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, how offensive.
I feel like it was disgraceful. But hey, good times.
Yeah. And then finally, he was talked out of getting an investigation into Diana's death.
I feel like he wasn't. I feel like he did it anyway. and he just told them, yeah, I didn't do that. Because why would you? If you had the money to do it, why wouldn't you just be like, all right, I'm gonna do it?
Yeah. I mean, you would think that.
Yeah. I don't see why you would not do it. If you had questions, and you still had questions, you'd be like, fuck it, I can do this.
It does seem like if someone, like one of the most high profile deaths in history, like if there was a death that needed to be investigated, was going to be investigated by people, that this would be it.
It seems like the one.
If only a 13-year-old had investigated, maybe we would have got some different
I mean, there's basis for a TV show in that 13-year-old investigating the most famous murders of all time.
Yeah.
I think NBC would go for that, to be quite honest. Anyway, yeah, that's an interesting one. I personally think now, if he was looking at it, he would be like, I'll pay for an investigation now. Someone to go over all the files. He's probably on all those conspiracy websites looking for everything related to her death to see if anyone's dug up some obscure thing that nobody noticed in the background of a photograph.
I'm just gonna say it. If he needs an investigator, we have the people to do it.
I mean, we will take your money to investigate the crime.
But you better have appropriately sized clothing for us to wear. Because I tell you what, if you give us $10 million to investigate this for a week, and you give us a T-shirt that's an XL when I'm an L, you will not hear the end of this in my book.
Which will be called Double Spare. You know why? There's no reason. We're just fucking with you.
It'll be called 9-10 Split.
Yeah. He'll show you.
Yeah. I mean, it's phenomenal.
What a great book to bring out and bring shame upon your family and yourself and your penis. So, what a great start to 2023 he's had.
I mean, it's just such a positive outlook for the royal family.
Yeah, they're doing their best to fall apart, but it's working. I like it. It's a good time.
It's just like, Prince Andrew can do what he can with his Todger.
I mean, yeah, that's the book everyone wants to read.
Or I think the book that everyone wants to read is what Camilla does to Charles that has made him do this, because it's got to be something that she's doing that.
It'd be really funny if it's something like she's like, no other girl in the world knows how to do this, and he was like, oh, shit. So she's been the only one who lets him, like, I don't know, lick her butt or something. And it's like, he's like, this is the greatest thing of all time. I'm gonna stick with you forever. They're making me marry this other one, but we'll kill her off in a few years, and you will be my wife. She can't do this. I know she can't.
Then he writes a book and it's called like Arslick. Dedicated to the love of my life, the only woman in the world who would let me lick her ass.
Anyway, I think we're even deeper
into Prince Charles's ass.
Or
Camilla's ass.
I think we're definitely on the hit list now. And if we ever step foot in Britain again, that's the end of that. So
we'll be licking asses.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to stay in Ireland for a bit and hope that they don't invade to again to try and find me. But anyway,
well, right. I mean, the Royals have set up a war room. Yeah, so they're taking it seriously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are the people who listen to this podcast and they're like, these fuckers know all these things.
They're like, it's not licking the ass. It's she's the only one who blows me, okay? I don't want to blow me, that's why. She said it hurt her teeth. And that frostbite penises are not.
I just always wonder why I have nightmares every Sunday. But hey, it's fine. It's probably nothing to do with this podcast. Yeah, I'm sure. Anywho, I think we've done enough damage.
Frostbite penis, yes.
I mean, no, that's definitely going to be a nightmare now. But hey, it's all good. But yeah, I think we've done enough damage for this week, and we should hold off the rest of it for next week's show.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of stories from this book that have come out so far, let alone what will keep coming out.
Well, hopefully we get some more information about the back of pubs and substances that were taken just to feel different. So I'm hoping for some like bleach and toilet cleaner to be mixed at some point just for the crack. See what happens.
Or if he throws in like, somewhere that like the only reason why he married that old bitch is because she did.
Yeah, we all got drunk one night on Scottish whiskey, and he told us that the reason he loves her so much is because of his secret.
And
Only
she
know.
And then she made us watch
Again for the 400th time. It's like every family on a Sunday.
I'm told Sundays are for during the father licking the anus of the mother.
And that's why my wife's family don't like me.
Well, there you go. It fits. They don't like her.